Good evening, I'm Sarah Jarvis. First on 9, the presidential debates. President Bill Clinton and Senator Bob Dole are squaring off in their first presidential debate of the campaign. In fact, that debate is still going on in Hartford, Connecticut. We will have more on that in just a moment. But first, we want to tell you about a serial killer. And in this point, Minneapolis police are saying that they have ruled out Mark Proffitt as the suspect in the 5th killing in that serial killer case. At this point, they say that they have charged Mark Proffitt in the murder of Renee Bell, but records show that Proffitt was in jail the day police found the 5th victim, Barbara Layton. Now, police found Layton's stab body in an alley near Powderhorn Park in August. Bell's killing was the first in a series of suspected prostitute murders in Minneapolis over the summer. Now let's get back to the debate. It is still going on, and we have some reactions, some of the highlights that Doug Stoddart has put together for us.
The people need it, that's the point. This is not a Wall Street tax cut. This is a family tax cut. This is a Main Street tax cut.
So it sounds great, but our targeted tax cut for education, child rearing, health care, and home buying, which is paid for in my balanced budget plan, something that he has not done, certified by the Congressional Budget Office, that's the right way to go. So I think the American people, including the Perot supporters, know that I've had a consistent record in favor of campaign finance reform, and I will continue to have, and I hope we can finally get it in the next session of Congress, because we need it badly.
Well, on campaign reform itself, we're going to get it when we have a bipartisan commission. Take it out of politics, get people who don't have any interest in politics, but understand the issue, and let them make a recommendation to Congress.
Do I think that I bear some responsibility for the fact that too many of our children still don't understand drugs are wrong, drugs can kill you? Even though I have consistently opposed the legalization of drugs all my public life and worked hard against them, I think we all do, and I hope we can do better.
I want to stop it from coming across the border. And in my administration, we're going to train the National Guard to stop it from coming across the border. This is an invasion of drugs from all over the world, and we have a responsibility. He's deployed more troops than any president in history around the world. It's cost us billions and billions of dollars for peacekeeping operations. But these are facts.
Look at where we are today. The United States is still the indispensable nation in the aftermath of the Cold War and on the brink of the 21st century. I have worked to support our country as the world's strongest force for peace and freedom, prosperity and security.
And the debate is now in the final 30 minutes of this hour-and-a-half face-off for Senator Dole. This is his best chance to launch an October comeback. His polls show him trailing with just 1 month until the election. As for Clinton, his strategy coming into tonight was to look presidential, not make any mistakes, and hold on the lead that he came in with tonight. Sarah?
Okay, thanks a lot, Doug. Well, to give us some perspective on this first presidential debate, we have invited the chair of the Political Science Department from Hamline University, Dr. Joseph Pesek, to join us. We want to thank you for coming in tonight. Let us get your thoughts on the debate, what you have seen so far.
Well, Sarah, presidential debates are our only opportunity to see the candidates side by side. About 100 million people are tuned in tonight, and the candidates prepare for them very carefully. Clinton, I thought, had a theme that he has a positive record. He's running on the record. Let's keep it going, he said. Stylistically, I thought he was calm, rested, in command of information, at times a bit scripted. Bob Dole comes into the debate, as was said, behind in all the polls. He needs to both challenge Clinton and give people a reason to vote for him. And I think he did challenge Clinton, said we're not better off than we were 4 years ago. He got at the character issue, selective memory. But from what I've seen so far, I'm not sure that Dole has really stated a positive case for himself so much.
Have you heard anything at all that has surprised you in the debate so far?
Not too much. I thought Clinton might try to link Dole a bit more with the far right of the party, with Gingrich and with other folks, the charge of extremism. He hasn't really come across in that way so far. Dole, I thought, might try and avoid some of his barbed style, but at times that did come out. He said Saddam Hussein's better off than he was 4 years ago. Frankly, I think the presence of Ross Perot might have made things a little bit more unpredictable, but he's not there.
That's right. Well, a lot of people say that they watch the debates if they're undecided to try and sway them, who they should vote for. Was there anything that you saw that may sway the undecided voter?
Probably not. One thing that I'm kind of looking for is there's an undercurrent about Dole with the age factor, and there will be different assessments of that. I thought on a number of questions he was quite substantive, but frankly I thought at times he looked tired, rapid eye movement, that sort of thing. There will be a second presidential debate, Sarah, on October 16th. The format's going to be different. Citizens will be able to ask questions of the candidate, and it should be very interesting to compare that with the first one tonight.
Absolutely. Well, Dr. Joseph Peshek from Hamline University, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
And coming up tonight at 9:54, we will have the candidates' closing comments from tonight's debate, and we will also hear from Ross Perot. But before that, CNN Headline News will have more on this first presidential debate. You can look for that at the bottom of our news hour at 9:30. Plus, you can get a daily update on Vote 96, the race for the White House, by calling our 9 line, the number 946-1234, enter category 8683. That spells out the word vote. Again, category 8683. You can call that number 24 hours a day. Minneapolis police say they have finished some of the analysis on a bone found yesterday on West River Parkway. Tests show it is most likely a pelvic bone from an adult male between 35 and 45 years old. Police add that the bone may be very old and more tests are needed. Officers will conduct a more in-depth search that area tomorrow. Members of Teamsters Local 1145 at Hopkins-based Atlanta Tech Systems will go on strike tomorrow. That's Alliant Tech Systems, rather. The union rejected Alliant's final offer today and did authorize a strike. Now, union leaders say more than 500 employees at 4 Alliant plants in the Twin Cities will be striking in support of the union's position. The main disagreements include job security, subcontracting, and relocating work. Well, welcome home, Tiny Tim. The ukulele star is back in Minnesota after collapsing in Massachusetts last weekend. Tiny arrived at the airport early today on a private Lear jet. His wife, Miss Sue, and her family were there to greet him. Now, Tiny is still weak and has a cut on his forehead from his fall, but his family says he is getting much better. Tiny is now resting up in a local hospital before returning to his home, and his wife tells us doctors here believe Tiny may have collapsed because of lack of sleep and low blood sugar, and that he may not have had as severe a heart attack as doctors back east believed. How can you make your home fire safe? Well, a group of firefighters put on an event at the Mall of America today showing people how important fire safety is. Firefighters also held a memorial honoring those who risk their lives every day. This is kickoff to Fire Prevention Week.
The #1 cause of accidental fires in Minnesota is home heating. So this is a wonderful time for the citizens of Minnesota to check whatever their heating appliance is.
And it's also a good time to check the batteries in your smoke detector. Last year, 86 people died from fires in Minnesota. If you're heading to Twin Cities International Airport to drop off passengers, your task just got a little easier. The airport installed new traffic lanes on the ticketing level, and those lanes will make it easier to drop off passengers on the left-hand lane next to the parking ramp. Of course, you can still drop people off on the right-hand lane, but if you only have carry-on baggage, use the left side. It'll make traffic run a lot smoother. Well, another honor for former Minnesota Twin Kirby Puckett tomorrow. Part of Chicago Avenue adjacent to the Metrodome will be renamed Kirby Puckett Place. Puckett will be on hand tomorrow for the dedication ceremony set for 1 p.m. The Twin Cities Marathon is called the most beautiful urban marathon in the country. And today, huge crowds turned out to cheer on runners through the 26-mile course. That course started at the Metrodome, wound through the chain of lakes along the Mississippi River, and ended near the Capitol. Organizers expected about 200,000 spectators. Andy will have much more on the Twin Cities Marathon a little later on in sports. But up next on Minnesota 9 News, a Twin Cities man may need a bone marrow transplant. We'll tell you about his upcoming bone marrow drive.
I see him.
And still to come from CNN Headline News, peace talks between Israel and Palestinians resume tonight at the Israeli-Gaza Strip border. Detail is at the bottom of our news hour at 9:30. Leading tonight's Metro File, a Shoreview family is looking for help. Brian Schmidt has a rare form of leukemia and may soon need a bone marrow treatment. Vida Urbonis has his story and his family's battle to get more people involved.
You can feel it the moment you walk to their front door. It's a place filled with love.
We're stronger, a lot stronger family.
Endurance.
You know, in and out of treatment, and it was a lot of work.
And faith.
It helps you be an optimist. It helps you face day to day. It helps you face one day at a time.
Doctors diagnosed Brian Schmidt with multiple myeloma, a form of leukemia, about a year and a half ago. Since then, he's been through cell transplants, endless hours of chemo, radiations, and surgery.
I think in the initial phases, I have said to people that I felt like I was terrorized.
Although he's been sick from a solid month of chemo treatments, the news is good.
I'm in complete remission since March of '96.
Brian doesn't know when or if he will get sick again, but if he does, there's a possibility he may need a marrow transplant, and he still doesn't have a match.
Because when some people need it, they need it soon.
But right now, the Schmidts are moving the focus away from themselves. They're setting up a bone marrow drive for this Tuesday to help the countless others who are in desperate need.
There's some people coming to our drive Tuesday that their nephew needs to find a match in the next 5 weeks.
The Schmidts feel by telling their story, we can possibly understand what they've been through and hope it will spark others to become donors so other cancer victims will get a second chance at life.
And to hit home, it's just look at us. You know, we want a long, happy life together. And we look forward to that.
What are you doing, buddy?
I'm going to put a slide in.
In Shoreview, Vida Urbonis, Minnesota 9 News.
No, not.
The marrow recruitment drive is scheduled for Tuesday at St. Odelia Catholic Church in Shoreview. It goes from 1:30 in the afternoon to 7:30. Call 484-6681 for more information. Up next tonight, Joe Bender is here with your workweek forecast, and she'll let us know if it's going to stay on the warm side. We'll be right back.
For weather updates 24 hours a day, call the 9 line at 946-1234. Enter category 4000.
This just does not feel like October weather.
No, it
terrific.
doesn't. It doesn't, but it will this week, and then it won't again.
Okay, well, we can handle a week of it.
It's kind of that roller coaster thing of fall that we've been experiencing, and we're going to keep going as we move into the next week. But a pretty nice day today. I think I used to do that when I was like that little. I don't think it would look so good now. But great time to be outside today. I know those marathoners had a pretty good race. I even heard that it was a little bit too warm today, if you can believe that. 67 degrees was the high today. 53 is our current temperature. It's going to get pretty cool tonight. Average 64 and 43, and not quite to those records. Just a trace of rain very early this morning. You're going to see the sun rise tomorrow at about 7:18. Well, currently here in the metro area, cloudy 53 degrees, dew points at 41. Humidity 64, and the pressure right now is steady. Well, we did see some clouds this morning, and even a couple of showers touched off the beginning of the Twin Cities Marathon. We had a little bit of showers here in the northeastern metro area, but those went away very quickly. And then by about 11 o'clock today, we saw very sunny skies. Highs really shot up there, 67 degrees here in the Twin Cities, and that was around noon today. 72 down in Rochester, 65 in St. Cloud. A little cooler along the North Shore at 61 degrees. Now, about 2 o'clock this afternoon, the clouds rolled in again, and that sent temperatures down again, back into the 50s for most of the state. And as we move toward tonight, we're going to see another clearing, and that's really going to drop things pretty low tonight. 20s in northeastern as well as north central Minnesota for today. Some 30s for most of the state, and even a couple of 40s are going to hang on here down in the southeastern corner. But for the most part, it's going to be a pretty cool night in store. Now, the big weather news is still down in the Gulf of Mexico. This is tropical depression, and it's at number 10. It caused a lot of rain yesterday to the coastal areas of Texas, now causing lots of rain to Louisiana, all the way down to about Florida, all the way down to the Florida Peninsula. Very heavy rain showers throughout the day today. Those are going to continue tonight because there's also a stationary front down there keeping that rain very centralized. Now, this storm could turn into a tropical storm by tonight. I'm sure Joe D will have more information on that for you tomorrow. As far as the Midwest goes, here's that cold front. Brought us a little bit of rain and some clouds today, also some very cool temperatures. Now, that's going to move off, but we do have this high pressure. It's going to drop southeast from Manitoba. It's going to bring us sunshine tomorrow, but I can't do very much about the temperatures. It's going to be a little bit chilly tomorrow. We're going to be in the 40s and 50s for most of the state. And it looks like the 40s are going to stay up here in the northeastern part of the state, but 50s here a little bit cooler than we saw over the weekend. Mostly cloudy this evening, low about 38 degrees for tomorrow. We're going to start off with some clouds, but then a pretty sunny afternoon, high in the mid-50s. For tomorrow evening, partly cloudy and cool, back down to the 30s. As we move on to Tuesday, still partly cloudy, then we'll see a high close to 60, and as we move through the week, here we go on that roller coaster, 50s on Wednesday, but possibly close to 70 by Friday, so it still looks like a pretty nice week. Well, here's your sky pic from today. Emily Edberg, she's 12 years old, from Belle Plaine, and drew a nice picture of those that fall weather. So that means raking's around the corner, which
Exactly.
is not my favorite thing to do.
Thanks a lot, Joe. Well, straight ahead, the Vikings look for win number 5, and Tiger Woods looks for win number 1. And he has the scoop next.